All right, hello everybody. We are live. Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. We are going on to KVUE Plus and YouTube and all of our streaming platforms to bring you the latest on some strong to now severe storms, which are moving into central Texas. So this will likely be a pretty busy night of weather as we have widespread rain and storms coming in. So without any further ado, let's get into things. In Austin, there is some rain around the metro right now. This is not really heavy rain. There's also a little storm over Caldwell County, not severe. This is the first severe warning that we have had issued for this evening. I don't know that it will be the only one. Again, more storms are coming. This is for Gillespie County in our area. Now, much of this is down in the San Antonio viewing area, but if you live in Gillespie County, especially southeast of Fredericksburg, this severe thunderstorm warning does include you. Now, a few things in this warning. I'm not seeing a ton of hail, but there is potential at times for hail maybe up to nickel size, so even lower than quarter size. Hail's not the main concern. Wind is the main concern. This storm could produce gusty straight line winds as high as about 60 miles per hour. Here's the hail tracker. Again, we are not seeing very much with hail. This is the wind, though. Let's go in and actually sample some of these winds. And the good news for our KVUE area, if you're watching this down towards Kerrville or Bernie, you are more in the meat of this storm. But here where we get into these blues, let's sample some of these. Yeah, look at that, 67 miles per hour, 66 miles per hour. These could be even higher, maybe 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. But again, in Gillespie County, these winds right now are still down to the south. Now, let's kind of put a track on this. Here's where it's heading. Far southeastern Gillespie County. And then if this holds together, it could be an issue for Blanco County. And then beyond that, if it holds together, maybe Hays County into parts of southern Travis County. Also, just kind of wanted to give you an overview as far as some of the new updates since we last spoke here, what was it, at 6 o'clock during our newscast. We got an update to our severe weather potential. There's now a slight level 2 risk, which includes just about our entire KVUE viewing area. So this does not just include the I-35 corridor and the Hill Country anymore. This includes now areas east of I-35. This goes into Bastrop. This even goes into parts of Fayette County, Lee County, Caldwell County, Luling. All of these areas now included in this severe weather threat. Here's a look at the kind of categorical breakdown. As we discussed earlier, the main threat that we are tracking for tonight is the hail threat. And still, that has not really changed. So we'll kind of pop on here and explain for you. That has not really changed. Here's the tornado outlook. It's low. The threat for a tornado this evening, it's not zero, but it's not the main thing that I'm watching tonight. Hail. So in the yellow, it is an elevated hail risk. And then where you see these kind of dashes here, that's primarily southwest of our area. That's where there's the potential for significant hail. That does not include our area. But again, hail could be large at times through this evening and tonight. And then here's the wind outlook. This is actually increased some since we last spoke at 6. So now they introduced the yellow. So there's an elevated straight line wind threat that goes into Austin in much of our KVUE area for tonight as well. We have a severe thunderstorm watch, which is in effect until midnight. The only warning we have right now, clips Gillespie County. The watch again means that all the ingredients are there. This does not currently include Travis County or Williamson County. It does include Burnett, Llano, Mason, Gillespie, Blanco, and Hays counties. Large hail, priority number 1, gusty winds and isolated tornado can't be completely ruled out. So let's go through things on our model and we'll just kind of time everything out. So we'll move forward and we have some new model data, so things are going to look a little bit different. Here over the next 30 minutes to an hour, we're going to be watching activity trying to move into southern Blanco County, perhaps into Hays County. We'll keep going into 10 o'clock. At that point, again, some of these heavy storms could be impacting places like Blanco and Dripping Springs and San Marcos. Maybe southern portions of Travis County as well. We'll keep going. Here's 11:30. This activity will be moving through the metro and then east of I-35, Fayette County, Lee County, Milam County, 11:30 into midnight. And then this has kind of changed. If you watch this at 6, we had kind of a secondary batch, which was coming in during the late overnight. Now this new run of our model has kind of backed off on that idea and has just kind of scattered showers and downpours through the overnight. Southeast of Austin into 5 a.m. And then by the time most of us are waking up tomorrow morning, all of the rain is going to be gone. So I'll just be honest with you, the models don't have a great grasp on what's happening right now, and it's understandable just because we have these kind of chaotic little batches of showers and storms. But the chance of rain tonight, it's about 100%. So the vast majority of our area is going to see rain. These are the updated rainfall projections. Again, is it going to be exactly right? The exact number, exactly where it shows it? No. But the potential, I think, is pretty good, where many areas are seeing a 1/4 inch to 1 inch of rain. There could be pockets of maybe 1 to 3 inches of rain, if not locally higher. So hail, gusty winds, the main things that we're watching. There is also a minor risk for some flooding tonight. We have a marginal risk. That is the level 1. Tonight, 100% chance for rain. A few of these storms could be severe. 53 degrees. Tomorrow, rain's going to be moving out during the early morning hours. The high temperature is going to be right around 71. So that is what we were tracking for you. I want to kind of go back here to the beginning. I know we pushed this out, so we've got a lot of folks watching on KVUE Plus at our various platforms. We always appreciate everybody checking in on the weather with us. Let's actually do kind of a broader view and show you what's happening. And I'll kind of get into why I said I don't think the models are doing very well picking up on things. So as you can see, we've got a few different batches of rain and storms. The one severe warning is this, which includes southeastern Gillespie County. If this holds together, it could be a Blanco, Hayes, maybe a southern Travis deal. But then look what's back behind it. We have another line of rain and storms. These are not severe, but really here over the next 30, 45 minutes, if not sooner, this secondary line is going to be moving into Mason County. So we have this round, which will be kind of grazing the southern tier of our area. That's if it doesn't build up a little farther north, and it's possible this could kind of tap in and lift up a little farther north. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean no rain. That means we'll wait on this second line of storms that move through San Angelo to kind of pass through and catch up to the initial round. So that is what we're watching here. Again, is it a clear-cut issue where we have all the timing nailed down? It is not. But you can look at this and you can understand that the chance for storms tonight is high. Pinpointing exactly when and where these batches go, that's where it gets a little bit more complicated. Again, here's kind of a closer look at what's happening with our Gillespie County storm. It's a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30. This is primarily a wind threat. Before we get to that, also just want to kind of give you an update what's going on in Caldwell County right now. We do have some heavy rain over Caldwell County, including around the Lockhart area. This is not severe. It is producing lightning, and this is pretty heavy rain. So just a heads up here, if you're in Caldwell County and you're watching us and you're hearing thunder, this is not severe weather right now, but this thing is dropping some heavy rain, and it has some lightning to it. So back to our warning. Here's the hail tracker. I continue to not really see any hail with it, not even seeing the light gray, so that's good news. This is the main thing that prompted this warning, and it was the straight line wind potential. Let's actually back this out. Again, the core of the storm where the strongest winds are located, that is currently south of our area. So here is in the blue, this is the strongest wind heading into Bernie right now, which is south of our KVUE area. That's in the San Antonio area. Here in Gillespie County, honestly, it looks likely that the core of these winds are going to stay south of Gillespie County. Now, if you live in Blanco County, let's actually kind of trace this forward. So what we'll do, let's kind of draw some lines on here. So let's imagine this kind of keeps going straight. So it's going to be kind of heading about that direction. I always do this. We have the mouse here, which always goes crazy. I apologize. Give me 1 second. There we go. So let's draw this again. So let's imagine this wind kind of keeps going straight and holds together. Not a guarantee that it holds together this long, but this is kind of the trajectory that it's following. So with this kind of due east movement, Gillespie County, not really worried about the wind for you right now. Even in Blanco, this wind is probably going to stay to the south, but if you live in far southern Blanco County, or if you know anybody driving from Blanco down to San Antonio, this is going to be moving into Bernie, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, and then this could clip southern Blanco County. And then if it holds together, again, this would be a ways from now. This would probably be like an hour, hour and a half from now. But if it holds together, it could be places like San Marcos where these strong winds are moving in. What we could do, actually, this is moving east at about 40. What we'll do, let's do a little storm track on this. They've got it going kind of northeast, but again, the strongest winds are kind of doing more of like a due east type thing. So we'll draw it about like this. Let's kind of trace it out about like this. So this is kind of roughly where the meat of this storm is going. Gillespie County, you are currently included in a severe thunderstorm warning, but you're just kind of grazed. It does not include Fredericksburg or Harper or any of kind of the bigger population centers in Gillespie County. I think this is mainly going to be an issue for the San Antonio area, but this will clip southern Blanco County, And if it holds together, eventually Wimberley, San Marcos, places like that, you could be seeing some sort of impact from this storm. Again, that's if it holds together. So it's 8:05 right now. You can look at the timing here. So for like Canyon Lake, it'd be like 10 o'clock. And then for Wimberley, it would be like 10:46. So again, that's a ways from now, an hour or two, but just something that we are watching for maybe some impacts later on down the line. Again, here's kind of the bigger picture. What we actually have is a new little cell popping up over Fredericksburg, and this will be interesting to watch if we get some of this activity building up to the north. So we've got the one severe thunderstorm warning, which is down south of Gillespie County, but this is heavy rain and lightning developing over Fredericksburg right now. We'll have to watch this. The environment is pretty ripe out here in the hill country. It's possible that could try and strengthen and become severe. So new heavy rain going up over Gillespie County. This is going to move up to the northeast, so southern Llano County, kind of be on guard in case this thing gets its act together. And then behind that, remember, we have the big line. So we're kind of bouncing back and forth between radars. If you're wondering why this looks kind of silly, we're kind of on the back range of a few different radars. We also have this line of strong storms, not severe but strong, heading into Mason County shortly. So if you live in Mason, heads up. You do have some heavy rain, presumably some gusty winds in here. I've been watching this line. From time to time, it has these little kinks where it tries to spin up a little bit. We have not had any tornado warnings here in this part of the state, in central Texas, with this line of storms, but up in North Texas, there have been some tornado warnings. It's not my main concern tonight, but it's not something we can completely rule out. So that's where we're at right now. Here's kind of the big picture. The low pressure is kind of back up over the Panhandle and New Mexico. Then we've got this Pacific cold front, so we've got a squall line from North Texas stretching down our way, and then ahead of that, south and southwest of Austin, we've got this new batch of storms that has developed. We have a severe thunderstorm watch, which is in effect, not for Austin or Williamson County, but for Hayes County, Blanco County, Burnett County, into Llano County, Gillespie, and Mason County. This continues until midnight. That's not to say that the risk for severe weather is zero in the metro. It's just a little bit lower, so it's possible they could extend this, but for now, it does not include the metro. And this kind of makes sense. Again, we have this batch which is grazing southern Gillespie County into Blanco and Hayes, so that's why these areas are included. And then we have the line, which is back to our northwest, and that's going to be impacting places like Mason, Llano, and Burnett counties possibly if it holds together. I'm going to walk back over here. I'll turn on the radar for a moment. I'm going to walk over and make sure we don't have any additional updates from the National Weather Service chat. Here's a look at our severe thunderstorm warning, where the heaviest part of the storm is not in our KVUE area right now. Let's see. We do, in fact, have a note from the National Weather Service. Let me refresh this and get it pulled up. I'll animate this radar for you, too. Let's see. Oh, so here's an important note. After chatting with the Storm Prediction Center, this is what the National Weather Service is saying. After chatting with the Storm Prediction Center, we are likely going to be expanding the watch east soon to cover the rest of the area. SPC will be issuing a mesoscale discussion soon to go along with this. Okay, so as we mentioned, hey, it's not out of the question that the Austin area could be included in this. Looks like that is in fact going to happen. So a mesoscale discussion is what they issue. And they kind of tell folks like, hey, we're probably going to issue a watch down the line for these areas. We do not have one just yet. I'm going to leave it on this graphic here for a second because once they pop in the mesoscale discussion, it's going to show up here and it's going to get highlighted in red, so we'll be able to see what they're talking about. But it looks likely now that this new watch, this new expanded watch, is going to include a larger part of our area, probably including Austin. So that should be forthcoming here in a moment. As we wait on that, one of the things we'll do, let's actually look at a couple different computer models here and see if any of them have a better idea. Just to be completely transparent with you, I think the model that I showed you a minute ago probably is not super accurate right now. Here's another one of our models. This is we call this the graph model. This is produced by IBM. This is one of the in-house models that we use. So it's got this round coming in. Some strong to possibly severe storms in the Austin area right around 9:30 or 10. Then has more rain back behind that. Kind of that secondary line coming in around 12:30, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Honestly, that looks a little bit more accurate, honestly, than the model that I showed you before that. So on that topic, let's see what kind of rainfall that particular model is printing out. Yeah, look at that. It's got a pretty widespread, say, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain, especially kind of Austin points south and southeast. Unfortunately, you know, again, I don't think the models are perfect here. We have that line, which is likely going to impact parts of Mason County, so it's got these lower totals in Mason County. We would like some more rain over Mason, Llano County, northern Burnett County to help with our Highland Lake situation, but honestly, I think the rain could end up being a little bit higher in those areas than what this model is showing. For anybody wondering why we say that, here's the drought monitor. Man, it would be great to have some rain. We have some of this falling now over southern Gillespie County into Blanco County. It also would be good to have some more of that falling into Williamson County. Our winter rainfall, by the way, is over 8 inches already, which is, with a full month left to go, over the average for the entire winter. But that is in Austin. So areas Austin and east, like Fayette County, have had a ton of rain. We still need some more rain across the hill country, though. That would help with the drought and our lake levels. So here's our radar right now as we wait on what is likely to be an extension of our severe thunderstorm watch farther east. Yeah, unfortunately, so this kind of, well, I wanted to say that. So this line may be weakening a little bit, but this stuff near Junction, that's going to move into, Mason County shortly. We've got a new storm developing between Fredericksburg and Enchanted Rock. Not severe right now. We'll have to watch this one for hail, though. Let's go to our hail tracker. Good. Not tracking any hail right now. That is just heavy rain in an area that would need some heavy rain. And then our severe thunderstorm warning does include far southern Gillespie County, but the much stronger part of that storm is not in Gillespie County and is likely to stay south of Gillespie County. Here's a look at the info on that. It's 8:12 right now. That warning is going to go until 8:30. This is mainly because of the wind, which right now is moving into the Boerne area. So the National Weather Service in San Antonio, they're going to get some reports of wind here in a moment, if there is in fact some strong wind in there. But right in here, where you see the brighter blues, that's going to be where the wind is stronger. We can sample some of those. Yep, those could be 65 to 70 mile per hour winds. If, and this is not a guarantee, but if, I believe we just got an extension. Nope, that was the warning. So we're waiting on this watch to be extended, so I'm kind of juggling and looking at notifications from the National Weather Service. Have not gotten that officially yet, but it is likely here imminently. So here's where the strongest winds are in this storm over Boerne. What these winds are doing, it's basically moving like due east, so like this. So if this storm holds together, I'm going to extend this a little more. So if this storm holds together, it could impact far southern Blanco County, and then more likely would be kind of a Hayes County deal. And this would be closer to like 9:30 or 10 probably. Again, it's moving east at about 40, so this would be like a Wimberley problem. This would be a San Marcos, not necessarily a problem, but this would be a storm that would impact those areas. Also, what we can do is do kind of another storm track on this. So we've got this Boeing segment of storms going about like this. So this is a look at the approximate timing. If this is the neighborhood that you live in. I'm going to pull up our YouTube chat real quick. Or YouTube, I don't think we have the chat enabled, but pull up our YouTube, see what kind of numbers we have going on. So we'll just kind of stay on here for a little bit and wait and see if we get this watch extended. And then once we get that, assuming we don't have any additional warnings for a while, I might kind of pop you back just to the radar loop, and then we'll do another update at like 8:45, 9 o'clock or something like that. That is kind of the game plan that we have right now. Well, so we got a good 126 people watching right now just on YouTube, and some more on our KVUE Plus, maybe watching at home on your Roku smart TV or something like that. Hopefully everybody is in for this Friday night. Yeah, probably not a good one to be out and about with all these storms coming in. Okay, let's keep going. Here's the situation right now. Let's do another little radar tour. We'll go down here. I'll hop back in the box real quick too. Let's do an outer box. So let's kind of track things. If you live in Caldwell County, this is what we have. Some heavy rain, which is now lifting from Caldwell County into Bastrop County. Oh, I believe we have some comments on Facebook too, so I'll get those pulled up. This stuff is not severe, but it is producing some lightning and some locally heavy rain there on the Caldwell-Bastrop County line. There's some rain right now in Hayes County around Wimberley. This stuff is pretty light, not severe. We have this new storm which has gone up between Enchanted Rock and Fredericksburg. Keeping an eye on this one. This one is strong, I would say, but it is still not producing any hail. Hail tracker is still not showing anything with that. So that's just kind of a run-of-the-mill storm for now. The main event right now is this, which is this segment of storms producing strong winds near Bernie. Okay, so there's the extension of the warning, which we were waiting for. And now that this includes Hayes County, what we're likely going to do here is we're going to do a quick cut-in on TV as well. So let me pull up the information for this, and then I will leave you just with the loop for a second while I go coordinate with Nate. So here's the new warning. This is mainly going to be a wind threat. This includes Hayes County and southern Blanco County until 9:15 with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour possible. We'll get kind of our graphics organized. So there's that. Here's where the wind of this storm is. Right now near Bernie, it is tracking towards southern Blanco County and towards Hayes County. So we'll do another storm track right here. It's moving about like this at 40. These are the areas that will be impacted, which again is going to take it into the San Marcos area. Back this out a little bit. Going to take it into the San Marcos area just before 11 o'clock. New Braunfels around 10:12. Then what we'll sample some of the winds right there. Actually, we'll remove that. Going to delete some of these extra graphics real quick. Just bear with me. We're doing some of the kind of behind the scenes stuff here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave you here on the radar loop for like 1 moment while I get organized in the back. And we're going to do a quick cut in on TV, and then we'll return to our streaming coverage here on KVUE Plus. So I'll leave you with this with no audio just for 1 moment, and I will be back momentarily. Mike should be coming up. There we go. So for folks watching on our digital site, we are going to hop onto TV real quick. And yeah, 1 second. All right, hello everybody. Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. Time is now just after 8:20. Just a quick update that will get you back to your show. We're tracking a severe thunderstorm warning, which is producing some strong winds. That is going to head into Blanco County shortly, and then down the line, this is going to head into Hayes County. Here in Austin, there is no severe weather right now. And then in Caldwell, in Bastrop County, there's some rain. It is not severe. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have in effect. It goes until 9:15. It includes the town of Blanco. It includes Dripping Springs, Wimberley, and then down to San Marcos. The heavy rain and the wind, which again is the main threat, wind gust up to 60 miles per hour with this storm heading into Bernie right now. Let me show you the velocity. You can see here these brighter blues. That's going to be 60 to 65 mile per hour straight line winds. Here's the storm track on that. I do think that the strongest winds are going to be just south of the town of Blanco, but this far southern tip of Blanco County, you will get some pretty gusty winds here in a little bit. And then eventually this is going to head into Hayes County. Places like Pioneer Town and San Marcos and Wimberley will be impacted. So just some times here, 9:40 for Canyon Lake. This is moving east at about 40 miles per hour. New Braunfels 10:12, Pioneer Town 10:37, San Marcos we're looking at about 10:54. As this storm moves in, there is the potential for maybe some small hail up to nickel size. This is primarily, though, a wind threat. If you missed it, our severe weather outlook has been extended now, or upgraded, I should say. So the level 2 now goes into the I-35 corridor and includes most of our KVUE counties that are east of I-35. We have a severe thunderstorm watch, which right now includes Hayes, Blanco, Gillespie, Mason, Llano, and Burnett counties. But we just have been talking with the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service. It is likely that here shortly they're going to expand this farther east, and it likely will include Travis County and Williamson County. So right now we are streaming on KVUE Plus as well as our YouTube page and on Facebook. You can watch us there for continuing coverage. Here on TV, we'll get you back to your regular programming. All right, for everybody who is watching on our streaming platforms, thank you for bearing with me. It always gets a little complicated when we're kind of juggling back and forth with the on-air product. Let me get you back to this real quick. So I'm going to leave you for one more second on the radar loop with the severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to coordinate our next cut in with our production team, and then I'll be back in just one moment with more updates for you. All right, once again, we are back. Again, I apologize. We're kind of going back and forth here, just communicating with everybody behind the scenes, but this is our new severe thunderstorm warning. This goes until 9:15. It includes the town of Blanco. This includes Dripping Springs if you live there. This includes Wimberley, This includes San Marcos. This is primarily a wind threat. This storm it has a history of producing winds that could be up to about 60 miles per hour. We're seeing that radar indicated. Melissa, who I'm watching on Facebook, confirms 1 to 2 inch hail near Winters, Texas. Just looking at some of the reports here. Okay, so let's see if we have an update from the Storm Prediction Center on our watch. We'll go in here and check on the mesoscale discussions. So there it is. So this is going to be the area. I know this looks kind of messy, everybody. This is going to be the area that is included in the extension. Oh, they have already done it. That makes my job easier. So here's our new severe thunderstorm watch. They have added Travis County in Austin. They have added Williamson County. They have added Caldwell County, and they have added Bastrop County. So as we suspected, these areas have now been added into the threat, and this now syncs up nicely with our update from the SPC, where these areas are also included in a slight risk. Main issue is going to be hail, but we also, as we have currently seen with this storm, have increased our risk for wind. So in the yellow, it's an elevated hail risk, and also in the yellow, it's an elevated wind risk. The threat for tornado is low. It's not completely zero, but fingers crossed, let's knock on wood. Hopefully that's not something we have to deal with tonight. Here's the local view. Let's kind of back things out again just to give you a bigger picture view of what's going on here because it's kind of messy on the radar. We've got a couple different batches of rain and storms here, and we'll go back to the boxes so I can see you guys. Let's see. Here's an update from the National Weather Service. They're saying core of the very strong winds, estimated 70 to 75 miles per hour. They're about 3,000 feet above the surface. So the stronger the wind, the higher up that the winds are showing, it's not necessarily true that all of that is making it down to the ground. This is approaching places like Guadalupe State Park and Spring Branch. And again, if this holds together, southern Blanco County, Hayes County will be impacted by this storm. Here's this big line of storms. Look at this thing, which is mainly a North Texas problem, but the southern edge of this line is now moving into at least northern Mason County and northern Llano County. So hopefully these areas don't get severe weather, but are able to kind of clip some rain out of this. And then what we are tracking is mainly this kind of southern batch. So another little radar tour. This is not severe, but some locally heavy rain over Enchanted Rock. Hey, if this thing stays under severe limits, this is good. We need rain over Llano County and Gillespie County. It's kind of a light rain in Fredericksburg between storms right now. This is some heavier rain around String Prairie and Bastrop, over Bastrop County, Red Rock, Smithville, Kovar. This is not close to severe, and that does not look like it's on its way to becoming severe. So this is the main storm right now with the strong winds heading into Blanco County now, and if it holds together, it will head into Hayes County. Let's go back into our velocity and figure out where the strongest winds are. I know these type of maps can be kind of confusing, but where the brighter blues are, right, where the brighter blue is located, that's the strong wind, okay? So if you just kind of trace this forward, let's do this again. I always do this with the zoom. I'm going to draw this rather. So if you trace this forward, this is going kind of about like this. This is going to show you the areas that could be impacted by the core of the strong winds, which could be 60 to 70 miles per hour. A few other places that the National Weather Service is watching: Smithson Valley and Canyon Lake for a damaging wind potential. So southern Blanco County, Canyon Lake, and then if it holds together after that, it will be moving into Hayes County. Let's sample some of the winds and see if these are still as pronounced as earlier. So we'll sample some of these. Yeah, look at that, 73 miles per hour, 72, 63. Yeah, these are still strong winds. I hope this stuff weakens before it gets into Hayes County, but So this right here in the blue, those are the strong winds, which will clip southern Blanco County, and if they hold together, will move into Hayes County. So here's our warning. So this looks cleaner now. They got rid of the last warning. Also want to check in with the hail tracker, make sure we don't have any hail in here. Nope, still no hail. So going into tonight, we thought that hail would be the main risk. As of right now, it's actually the wind speed that we're primarily watching. Folks are asking about Dripping Springs. Yes, this storm very well could impact Dripping Springs. In fact, let's do a timeline for everybody in Dripping Springs. Let's time this out. So this is going to be kind of a rough timeline. You guys know how this is, an approximation. So there we go. Here are some approximate timings for you. Canyon Lake, 9:28. Wimberley, 10:21. Dripping Springs, 10:32. And San Marcos, 10:38. Honestly, these times are seeming a little... Honestly, it's probably going to be faster than that, truthfully. These times are looking like they're a little bit slow here, or a little bit fast. Slow, that's what I meant to say. So yes, Dripping Springs, this storm is likely to impact you. Hopefully, the strongest winds are down right here. Strongest winds are south of Blanco County. Hopefully, those stay south. But for Dripping Springs, you are currently included in this severe thunderstorm warning with the risk for strong winds that can be up to 60 or even 70 miles per hour. In fact, let's cue into the numbers here and see what the NWS is saying. They said at 8:16, there was a severe thunderstorm located 9 miles northeast of Bernie, moving east at 45. Hazard, 60 mile per hour winds. Radar indicated that could damage roofs, siding, and trees. So they have increased the speed now to 45 miles per hour. Another look at some of the possible timings here. That would take it into Wimberley just after 10 o'clock, if not sooner. So that is what we're tracking right now. We have the one severe thunderstorm warning. I think what we're going to do here, I will get you back to no hail right now for Round Rock, Alexa. Amanda, do I think the warning will move more south? I think it is possible that they could focus on the more southern section of that storm. I do think that's possible. In that case, it would be more of a San Marcos issue rather than a Dripping Springs issue. Again, that is where the strongest winds are currently located. Okay, I'm going to get you guys back to just the radar loop here for a moment. We'll take a quick break, and then coming up at around 9 o'clock, we'll hop back on here, or sooner if we need to. We'll hop back on here, and we'll have more updates for you. Coming up on 9 o'clock, Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. Another quick update on the forecast just ahead of our full newscast coming up tonight at 10. We have one single severe thunderstorm warning, which includes southern Blanco County and now a segment of the storm starting to move into Hayes County. This is a storm moving eastward, the main threat with it, gusty winds. Now, outside of this, Fayette County, Bastrop County, Lee County, there's some rain, but only one part of this big storm system right now is severe, and it is this part. So here you go. It goes until 9:15, so another 15 minutes or so on this warning. This does include Dripping Springs. This also includes San Marcos. This right here, there's some heavy rain here and some gusty winds. This is not the strongest part of the storm near Blanco. This is what's heading towards Dripping Springs. This is where the stronger winds are located, and that is more so on track to impact areas close to San Marcos. Now, just to show everybody, I know we like to keep tabs on the hail potential. This storm is not producing any hail right now. This is mainly a strong wind threat, and I'm happy to report that although this is still producing some strong winds that could be maybe 50 to 60 miles per hour heading towards Canyon Lake, that is on track to move into Hayes County, going about like this. The wind signature here has come down, so this is not quite as strong as what it was earlier. Not necessarily a slam dunk that this drops down below severe limits, but I would say there's a decent likelihood that at 9:15, when this warning expires, they let it drop off and do not reissue for it. But nonetheless, even if it's just a strong storm, this is heavy rain and gusty wind potential, which is heading into Hayes County, impacting places like Wimberley and San Marcos here over the next 35 to 45 minutes. Here's our severe thunderstorm watch. This has been expanded now, so it does include Austin and Travis County now. This includes Williamson County, Caldwell County, and Bastrop County. So expanded eastward. Large hail and gusty winds the main threats. There's a low but not zero chance for an isolated tornado. So coming up on KVUE News at 10, we'll talk about the full timeline for what to expect through the rest of tonight. We have continuing live coverage right now on KVUE Plus and all of our streaming sites, including our YouTube page. We'll see you for our full newscast tonight at 10. All right, we are back. Hello, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. Again, I apologize when you have little segments of black there where we're going back and forth between sources. That was just a quick update that we did on TV. Now we'll kind of take some more time and go through things right here on KVUE Plus and our streaming site. So what is the latest with our warning? Let's focus in on it. If you heard during the TV segment of our broadcast, this storm, thankfully, is weakening. Now, it's not a weak storm. That's not what I'm saying, but it is not quite as strong as what we had back a couple, say, 20, 30 minutes ago. Here's the information on it. This warning still continues until 9:15. It includes southern Blanco County. That's an area that is seeing the heavy rain right now. That part of the storm moving closer to the Dripping Springs area. This also includes San Marcos and a good chunk of Hayes County. The main threat continues to be the strong wind potential with this storm. The hail tracker is not showing any hail right now. Good news, but we are still looking at some strong winds, especially right here over Canyon Lake. So these winds, honestly, they are on track, should they hold together, to pass close to San Marcos, likely between Wimberley and San Marcos. Let me pause this and we'll see how fast they are. If you were with us about 30 minutes ago, we had this big, batch of these blue colors here. That's where the stronger winds are. We no longer have that substantial of a wind core, but in here, where you get the blues near Canyon Lake, that's still going to be some strong stuff. So we're still sampling, say, 56, 49, 53. So these could still be, say, 45 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts, but earlier it was 60 to 70 mile per hour wind. So thankfully, they've come down a little bit. Hopefully that continues and we just get some rain and we don't have to deal with the severe potential part of this. So where's this storm going? Again, it's moving east. So in Austin, we're starting to get some rain. It's mainly light right now. This storm is likely to impact southern parts of Travis County. So going about like this. Southern parts of Travis County, much of Hayes County getting rain, and then eventually Caldwell County. but this is the only severe storm that we have right now. The severe thunderstorm watch was expanded, expanded eastward, Caldwell County, Travis County, Williamson County, Bastrop County until midnight. Still, we are mainly watching the wind and the hail threat. Thankfully, we've not had any tornado issues. There was a little very small rotation down around Canyon Lake earlier. That has thankfully weakened. Okay, let's see what some of our models are printing out. I told you guys this earlier, but our models they're not really doing very well with this setup, just because it's a little complicated when we have multiple rounds of rain and storms like this. So here's our high-res rapid refresh model. We'll go through a couple of them. Showing at 10 o'clock, honestly, this is probably not too far off. This system, which is impacting Blanco and Hayes County, getting into parts of Travis County, passing through the Austin area around 11. Here's 11:30. Bastrop, Giddings, LaGrange, these areas seeing heavy rain. And then we'll wait and see if another batch could develop back behind it. Now, earlier this afternoon, the models were more bullish on this second batch of heavy rain coming in overnight. Now they've kind of backed off on that, showing that as we get into 5 a.m., there could be some lingering rain southeast of Austin. But again, we don't expect much wet weather during the day tomorrow. So that model, additional rainfall accumulation would look about like this. Let's look at another model. And I'm seeing some notifications here from the National Weather Service. Let's see, we got a special weather statement that includes Caldwell County and Hayes County. They also have issued they're looking at a flood advisory for Bexar County down south of our area. Again, there's the risk for some minor flooding tonight too. So it looks like what they might do here, and I agree with this, is they'll probably let this severe thunderstorm warning expire and then replace it with a special weather statement or a strong storm advisory. So I'll explain that in a moment. Before I do, let's take a look at our graph model, just another model. This looks like it's initialized pretty well with storms coming into Austin right around 10 o'clock. And then back behind it, there could be some more development. Yeah, I think this model probably is the best idea around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then by 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, all of the rain moves away to the east. And if that solution is what verifies, then our rainfall totals will look more along the lines of this. Which, hey, if we got another 2.5 inches of rain in Austin, that would kind of ramp up the minor flood risk a little bit. Okay, so here's the update officially. We're now going to let the severe thunderstorm warning expire. Let me pull up the severe thunderstorm warning as I explain this. Here it is. So we are now letting the severe thunderstorm warning expire. We have issued a special weather statement downstream for small hail and winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour. So good news, that is what we speculated, that they would let this expire. It looks like they will, and that is coming up in about 7 minutes or so. Still, this is a strong storm. There could be pockets of very small hail, and there still are strong winds in here, just not severe, 40 to 50 miles per hour. So the severe thunderstorm warning will be allowed to expire. One of the other things that they just issued was this, a flood advisory for Bexar County, which is in the San Antonio area. So here's a look at that. This area has had some pretty substantial rainfall accumulation already and some heavy rainfall rates. For us here locally, the rainfall has been pretty lackluster so far, but again, we still have much more rain to go. Here over Blanco County, a little pocket there of 1.6. Hey, good over Blanco County, 1 inch. Some of these are not too bad. Obviously, we would prefer to have some rain out west across the hill country back in this area. And there's been some, but we'd prefer to have some more rain back in this area dealing with the worst of our drought. And of course, those are the areas that feed into Lake Travis. So this warning is going to be allowed to drop off. The wind signature is coming down. Let's go back to this one. There we go. Get our Weather First logo in the banner. So here near Startsville and Canyon Lake, there's still some strong wind, and that's going to go into Hayes County. These are more along the lines of 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, though, and these are no longer 60 to 70 mile per hour winds like what we had earlier. So what we'll do, I'm going to get you back to our radar loop here, and we're going to have our full newscast coming up tonight on KVUE News at 10. So I might do another update, maybe like 9:30, 9:45. If not, again, you can tune in. You can watch us on KVUE. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you can download the KVUE app, or you can download KVUE Plus. And you can watch our newscast when that gets going. It will leave the radar stream up here too. So there's not going to be any volume, but we'll keep this radar stream going through most of tonight. Meteorologist Grace Thornton is going to be in later on tonight. We'll do a handoff at 2:30 a.m. So it will be a late night in the Weather Center, but we'll keep an eye on this stuff. But again, for now, signs of a decrease in intensity. This severe thunderstorm warning is going to be allowed to expire here shortly. So I'll get you to the radar loop. We'll see you on KVUE News tonight at 10 in about 50 minutes.